Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley. Today I'm going to do a very special short program. I'm going to give you a tour of my sculpture garden in the background, and that's because I am celebrating my 9th anniversary here on YouTube. I started 9 years ago on July 31st, 2008. And I'm going to post a link to my very first video, which was about the evil number 666. So let's begin with the tour. So I think I will record this in 4K. I just got a new camera this week. My previous camera went on the fritz, so the gate is open. Let's go through, and by the way, if any of you would like to visit my sculpture garden this summer, I'm open Sunday afternoons from 2 until 4, and any of you, my subscribers, are certainly more than welcome. The first thing we see is not actually a part of the sculpture garden. It's my corn patch, and I have a few beans and tomatoes and mostly weeds, and eventually I will probably block that section off. And as we enter, you begin to see some of my sculptures in the background, and I thought we could maybe take our trip off to the left here, and the first pathway is down to a set of 3 more sculptures in the background. Most of my sculptures are made out of plywood held together with polyester. On the left you see a concrete statue. This is one of my brother's favorites. And I have these sections divided up into what I call rooms. It would be like a museum, and this is an exterior museum, so to speak. So let's take this central path here, and I have arranged a flower patch off to the left here. Some of the people like to see these flowers. I've got quite a few digitalis. They grow up here like weeds, and they are biennials, so some of these plants will bloom next year. And I have like purples and whites, and the lighting is kind of difficult probably for the camera because this is a bright sunny day up here in the Adirondacks. And although it's very nice at this time of year, in the winter time it's completely different. Now this is my larger back room, I would call it, and I feature a canopy in the background, and I have some of my mother's paintings on display. I did have some of my brother's at the grand opening several weeks ago, and I won't take you behind the tent because I haven't fully developed that area yet. I hope to have a lot more artwork back there. Here on my left and in the center of the picture now we have the only full-life figure I have ever done. I call this one Miss Pro-Life Sidewalk Counselor. I did this back in the days when I was very active in picketing Planned Parenthood, and I had a lot of success doing that. The most gratifying thing I ever did was to convince a young lady not to abort her child. You'll never know how really, I guess you could say, inspiring that was to me. And you'll never forget when you do something like that. I recommend counseling in front of Planned Parenthood, and you will find that most of the young ladies who go into Planned Parenthood to abort their babies are black babies. If you want to talk about Black Lives Matter, you should talk about unborn Black Lives Mattering. And you'll never find these liberal black organizations like the NAACP oppose abortion, which kills black babies at double the rate of white babies. Well, I'm going to get off my soapbox and go back to my tour. This was one of the other young ladies who posed for me. Here in the background we see an image of the Madonna and Child. This is polyester with a kind of a bronze cast to it. And opposite that Madonna and Child, we have another Madonna and Child. Both of these are abstract versions. Let me zoom in a little bit. And you can see what that one looks like. I'll zoom out and take you down this back trail back to where we started from. And I have the walls right now made out of cheap plastic tarp. I hope to have maybe wooden walls at some time back here. And we'll see some more of the digitalis, also known as foxglove, on the right. As I say, they grow like weeds up here. That was my mother's favorite flower. I do have a few sunflowers behind this abstract. And behind all this, you can see some of my father's chicken barns. My father was a chicken farmer, along with being an artist and an art teacher and a history teacher. And at one time we had 2,000 chickens, and I grew up, all of us kids had separate jobs. My particular job was washing the eggs. My brother fed the chickens. My one sister grated the eggs and candled them. My other sister packed them. So we had a family farm. And as you can see, I've now changed it into a sculpture garden. And my brother also participates in the sculpture garden, providing art at certain times. So the family has adopted more of my parents' aptitude in art rather than raising chickens. So I still can't say that I really make professional videos. I have improved a little bit, I think, as far as my on-camera presentations go compared to my very first video. But it has been a very amazing and interesting 9 years. I hope you've enjoyed my videos, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and continue watching.